What's up, everybody, and welcome to the 24th episode of Speaking of Stadia. I am, of course, one of your hosts, Aaron Cini, and with me, as always, is the bearded beauty himself, my favorite John Krasinski on the internet, Too Tall Porter. Jacob, how are you?
Good. I'm not used to being in this corner, so I need to switch you around because this is throwing me off.
You gotta do it. It's too weird. That's
have to do it.
But no,
you gotta keep things consistent around here.
Ready to talk some Stadia stuff. It's been a while, although I haven't gamed as much as I want to, but it's what vacation I'll do to you.
And of course, now joining us on a permanent basis, our other co-host. She's the Canadian lady. She puts the Nova in Scotia. It is, of course, Fiona. Fiona, how are you?
I'm doing a lot better than I now get to sit with you two and talk about Stadia because it has been quite the 2 weeks.
How do you feel about Canadian lady and puts the Nova in Scotia?
Well, I mean, you're essentially, the first part makes sense. The second part saying that I put the new in Scotland, which is what it means in Latin. So I guess
in Latin, but Nova is also a bright light in space. So I thought you brought a bright light to Nova Scotia.
Well, I appreciate that. I will take that compliment.
And I mean, how long has Nova Scotia been around? You're probably new to it.
It's true. Yeah.
All right.
Relatively. I mean,
I just like to make sure I'm
compared to the province. Yeah, I'm not a 400-year-old vampire.
Yeah, see? So there you go. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. I already see people in the chat. How is everyone doing tonight? If you don't know, this is, of course, a podcast all about Stadia, where we break down the news, give you guys our thoughts and opinions on everything going on in the world of the future of gaming. So let's jump right into it with what we always start with. What you playing? Fiona, tell me. What have you been playing?
Well, I decided this, like in the past 2 weeks, I was going to try out some Stadia games. Unlike what I've been doing, which is mostly GTA and Overwatch, I decided to play the farming simulator that you can find on Stadia. It went quite well, other than the fact that I pulled a very rookie move, which was did not listen to instructions, which included me sitting in a tractor trailer for about 25 minutes, thinking I had to sit in the tractor trailer for it to actually to harvest the area. That is not the case. It was I was a good 25 minutes. I watched a full episode.
Like you were like riding around in it and not actually hitting the button you're supposed to harvest, just riding around it, just mowing over your crops.
No, it wasn't even my character. My character had already left. I was just sitting there as the automated like character that you can hire was just plowing the field and you can just watch. So I was just like, I'm like,
so you're just really watching someone else farm your land for you.
Yeah. For 25 minutes. So yeah, I played that. It was a lot of fun.
So played is a word. You watched it.
Yeah, I watched it. It was entertaining. I did get some other stuff finished. I got a little bit irritated because I did not understand what I had to do with the last tractor trailer I was on. So I'm like, you know what? This is future Fiona problems. And I hopped off. And then I went back to GTA because I'm like, you know what? I need to take my frustrations out on a random other person on the internet. So that was pretty much essentially the extent. And then obviously it's Overwatch. It's the anniversary the next 3 weeks, so they have a bunch of events going on, and so I jumped on that. Tried to get into Knockout City last night. Did not work for any of us, so that was a hit or miss.
Knockout City is that
dodgeball game.
Yeah. That's what I thought.
Exactly.
It is the current Fall Guys / Among Us of the moment.
Oh, yep. It's having its 15 minutes of fame.
Yep, and I hear everybody's loving it when they can get in. So
it's true. And I made a dad joke. I said you could say that the game is knocked out, and my friends were not happy with my joke. So that was.
I appreciate it.
I like that.
As a dad, I appreciate it.
We love that type of humor. We're all
perfect.
We're all about it.
Yeah.
It's true. Once you hit dadhood, just all can just start piling on.
That's right. And when you get to start using them on your kids, it's even better, and they roll their eyes at you.
Oh, the eye roll.
Jacob, what you been playing?
Not a ton, sadly. Well, yeah, I was away for last 5 days.
Sounds
the last
excellent.
Mid last week. I got back on Saturday, so I actually played some League of Legends as I do. And then you'll be happy, Aaron. I jumped into some Hitman last night.
Attaboy.
The first one. I'm just working through the prologue stuff. I spent way too much time on because before you do the final test, they give you like the time to just go back and try that first prologue one again. So I sat there for like an hour trying that different ways. That was kind of fun. I could not figure out how to get the timing for the poison or get distracted enough to get the poison in there.
Oh, talk to me after. I got you. I got you, boo.
But no, that's pretty fun. I'm not sure how long I'm gonna stick with it, but in terms of like stay through the whole thing, I'll see if the story grabs me or anything like that. But I'm kind of in a weird spot still with like where I want to play. I was debating on playing A Plague's Tale on Luna, but I still have not picked that up yet. I just keep looking at it and wanting to. There's actually a fair amount on Luna I just want to try out. There's a few games I've been looking at there. So,
yeah.
But that's pretty much it. Then, like, I also play Wild Rift on my phone when I have a little bit of time. With my daughter, while we were switching to no binky at nap time. That nighttime I just had trouble. Like, we get done. Like, she would go down like 9:30. I'm like, I just don't want to play a game, so I play Wild Rift. But you got excited when I said Wild Rift. So what's going on with that?
I've been playing it. I forgot that I was playing it. Yeah, I played Darius. I play top.
Really?
Because
I'm a support and jungler because I hate CSing.
I
know what CSing means, but
yes, I enjoy just smashing people in the face. So top definitely is my jam.
Darius is a good one too.
Yeah, he is. I'm still trying to remember how to play, and I constantly try to attack the top opponent rather than the actual minions before I level up, and I constantly get steamrolled, but I'm still learning.
Yeah, well, so have you played League before, or?
I have, back in 2013.
Oh, so it's been a while. Yeah. Top lane, I started on top lane, and you just want to keep fighting people, but it's like you really top lane. You guys kind of exist for a while, and then team fights happen, and then you're useful. It's kind of how that works in League. But no, I'm glad. If you want to play, I'll play with you. If you want to.
Our friends from the Trophy Room, a PlayStation podcast. If you haven't checked them out, please do. It's an amazing show. But I shouldn't have even plugged you because you're sitting here saying that you want to steal one of our co-hosts to play some Knockout City. Get out of here. Get out of here, Joe or Kyle, whichever one is on right now. I think I saw you say it was Joe.
It's Joe.
How dare you? But also PlayStation podcast, excellent. And we're a safe space. We don't do console / platform wars because it's stupid. Play games wherever you want to play.
It's true.
I have been playing Avery's #1 all-time favorite game of his entire life, Resident Evil 7, and it's so scary. It's so scary. I mean, I don't do scary, so that's been fun. Yeah, so been playing a lot of that on the Stadia. Definitely excited. because I want to play 8, and I didn't feel right until I played 7.
I mean, I've heard this. I was listening to a podcast that talked about it. Apparently, 7 does carry over into 8.
Yes,
yes,
that's a direct continuation. That's why I went
the
back.
beginning of 8, they give you like the recap of what happened. You can choose to watch it or not, like if you want to watch the recap or not. So
I'm gonna live.
No, I understand why I continue, but I heard it's like not super important to play them both. You can still, it plays fine on its own 8, but
okay.
It'll help probably having 7 for some of the nuances of the character.
Well, now that I've gotten into like some boss fights and stuff, it's a little less scary and getting I personally think getting a little bit more into like kind of the over topness that Resident Evil is, I think, really great at. They walk a really fine line with it, and I really appreciate that. And then I've also been playing the hell out of Mass Effect. I just rolled credits on 1 last night, and now I'm jumping into 2. That's one of my favorite trilogies of all time. So was very happy, and I have great news for Jacob, who was waiting for it to go on sale. They're all on sale. You can get them for $20 a game.
I hate you so much. John, I'm about buying that dip right now. Come on. Gotta wait for that dip.
Fiona, have you ever played Mass Effect?
I have not. I've been told that I need to, so I'm probably going to at some point. Probably much sooner than later. But no, I've heard only really good things, and people try to sell it to me as it's a dating simulator in space, and I'm like,
the game is very horny.
And I'm
I
like,
mean, it is, but no.
Well, now I've been lied to. No, just joking. No, I've heard really good things. I remember a while ago, I think it was when 2 released, when all the glitches happened. If I remember correctly, the last
with the buggy-eyed shepherd you're talking about?
That's 3.
Yeah.
I think it's 3.
My apologies.
But they've been cleaned up. There's still some bugs in 1. I'll use this pin. My friend was playing the other day and was in like a dialogue option, and like this is them, and then here was their NPC that was with them, and their NPC was just doing this for no reason, just jumping up and down right next to him. So
I mean,
there's still some jank to it, but it's good jank. It's fine.
I mean, I should be used to it because of Fallout, so I should just jump in.
Yeah, you should. It's so good. It's some of the best sci-fi out there. Also, I liked this comment. Really enjoying the game more than I thought I would. RE1, 2, and 3 forever, though. I love the RE2 remake. That is such a good game. I mean, I liked 2 back in the day, but that is absolutely how you do a full remake of a game.
And is he saying 4 as the RE4 ever?
Yes.
Or
yes. Stop it. Stop it, Jake. Get me all confused.
Come on, I can't help it.
I mean, 4 was the best, so.
Yes. My understanding. I mean, that's what all my friends talk about, is when I've seen my friends play the most is 4. So.
Yeah, that was
if they ever update those janky ass controllers, maybe I'll consider 4 the best. But anyways, let's get to the cloud gaming news and talk about what's new, fresh, and hot recently here on Stadia. I should have had you guys do a little bit of filler while I was pulling this up for the old screen share. It's fine.
It's okay. We'll just talk about awesome things like more League of Legends. I didn't mention I played a board game actually.
Oh, what board game?
I got the playtest. I got the playtest a game that's not out yet. It's going to be on Kickstarter this summer, I believe, or fall. By the same people that made I actually played the 2 of the games. Veiled Fate is coming out this year, and Moonrakers. Those are 2 the Ivy Studios. It's a very, very fun game. It's a new game where you play as these different, like, it's called Mythic Mischief is the game they're working on.
Okay.
Where you play as these like students in a mythical school, and you're trying to essentially get the Tome Keeper to catch your enemies. So you're trying to like manipulating them around the board. It's really cool.
Nice.
You know what's not on a board game? Destiny. Eyes Up Guardians. The crossplay beta was accidentally dropped. This comes from our friends at StadiaSource.com, your number one source for all things Stadia and a Game Source Network site. So go check them out. We obviously pull a lot of information from them. They are amazing, and you can get a lot of great news here, as we do for our show. This has been updated a couple of different times. So crossplay appears to be a little flaky at the moment, maybe due to only just releasing. So basically what happened was somebody flipped the switch early, and Destiny's crossplay beta was activated early. People got wind of this, started jumping on. crossplay on Destiny 2, meaning that players from separate consoles such as Stadia, Xbox, PlayStation, and Steam can now play together regardless of what platform they're playing on. Did anybody have a chance to try Destiny 2's crossplay?
I did not.
No.
I did not either.
Did you, Mr. Destiny?
Mr. Destiny? No, Mr. Destiny did not. Me and Travail kept trying to get it coordinated, and it kept not working out for our schedules because we wanted to just jump in with a couple other people. I do plan on checking this out, though.
Yeah, well, they're doing, and that's another, I guess, another story with the, if you have that ready or not, I'm not sure, but yeah, they so they finally announced that this, actually, I think starting tomorrow, I forget the dates are in there, but it starts tomorrow. They're doing a actually planned rollout, like a partial rollout, where it's just going to be in strikes and
limited strikes to start. Yeah,
which kind of stinks, but hey, it's whatever, and it means to an end. I mean,
right. I mean, this is a huge step forward for them to finally get what we've been kind of begging for a while. Mm-hmm. And in terms of Stadia, being a Stadia podcast, talking at it from their standpoint, I would love for them to be able to increase their player base this way. And so I don't feel like I have to jump in on a bunch of different platforms. I can just play from Stadia and join my friends who are playing on Xbox or on PlayStation. So this is awesome.
Yeah, I mean, the cross progression was nice, but this definitely takes it to a whole different level in terms of accessibility for people.
It is kind of interesting just because I thought with cross progression, once you have that Bungie account, and I'm kind of weird about this with any game like that, like Avengers, as soon as you make me have a third party account to your game, just give me freaking crossplay. Once I saw that that's how Fortnite made it work, like my son just needed an Epic account and then he can be on his Switch and I can be on, my PlayStation and we're just good. That's just how it needs to work. If I have a Bungie.net account, let us just play together. Let us be friends.
And just like Dead by Daylight, they did their own third-party account, and then I can even get my all my purchased things on Steam on Stadia too, which is cool. So,
yeah,
with that game, so
yeah. So, are you either of you Destiny people at all?
I liked Destiny. I played all of the original story for Destiny 1.
Yeah.
I didn't play much of the. I didn't really dive. I started the DLC, never really got fully into it. I played Destiny 2 when Stadia came out because it was like that and Tomb Raider were like the only real big stuff I played or had. That and once it came out, Darksiders Genesis, when I played that a bunch. Yeah. But yeah, until really I played a bunch of it then, but I really didn't dive too much into the story because the onboarding for that game is absolute garbage, and I heard it's even worse now that they've done the Beyond stuff. In terms of
I basically had to have Travail hold my hand and tell me
because the new light, especially like the new light stuff, they redid so you don't pop into like, oh, here's mission number 1. They have you go to someone to get the missions, and then they don't tell you that, hey, this is. So I had someone tell me that, I'm like, oh, okay, that's how it works. I can do that. I wanted to wait for some of my friends. My one coworker was going to play with me, and I just never did. He never did, so I just never jumped in to play, but. I want to play it. It's a game I've always been interested in. It's cool.
Yeah.
Hey, let's go. I'll teach you the ropes. You too, Fiona.
Okay.
Go ahead.
No, absolutely. That was just like Jake. I played it around the beginning of Stadia because it was a game that you had readily available to you. And so I played that a little bit, but I didn't really continue because just other games came out, and also the fact that the majority of the people other than Lucas who I knew who even played it are in different consoles. So when everyone's just like, oh, you play Destiny, and I'm like, yeah, I've played Destiny, like I'd be happy to play with you, like where are you playing at? And they're like, oh, Xbox, PlayStation, and I'm like, oh, I can't. So this might actually open up some opportunities for me to play with other people now, because one, I really liked my character, so just saying I would like to continue playing with her, and two, I want to be able to play on Stadia because it's just one of those things where I've constantly said like, yeah, I played it on Stadia, and I want to be able to actually play it continuously on Stadia and stay with it. So I am really excited to see that it's crossplay now. So when people are like, "Hey, do you play Destiny?" I'm like, "Heck yeah, I do. Just let me turn on my Stadia and then like my controller and let's go." Because that was essentially one of the limitations that kind of held me back from continuing. Because it's definitely a game where you need to have people to play with.
Yes.
Because multiplayer games online, I don't really enjoy them if I'm not playing with other people that I know. I might play like something like an random match in Overwatch, but then you get super angry with like all the random. So being able to play a game like this with friends that you know, and especially with the community that we're a part of, this is definitely a game changer for me.
Sweet.
Yeah, I'm in the same spot with like the Division 2, where you're saying like it's a game where you kind of need someone to play with him. Like I'm trying to go through it right now. I'm trying to get at least to a level where I can like play with other people. I'm not sure if there's like how they do the like different skill gaps when they join together in a party, but
Yeah.
Actually, one of my friends in the chat, Kenny, I've talking about playing with him, so I'm going to try to, because apparently that is actually cross-play too.
Nice.
And then Aaron doesn't love me and doesn't want to play. He wants to play against Travail and not me, and makes me cry.
Yeah.
It's only because of people
I played
who
once,
are
and then we haven't played since.
just a little passive aggressive. You really sieged your moment. You know what else is sieging their moment? Rainbow Six Siege coming to Stadia.
That was so bad.
It was so bad. This also comes from our friends over at Stadia's Source. We got a few new games coming. In the most recent Ubisoft investors call, they got a glimpse at some of the projects that the company is working towards. And if you do a search for this keyword Stadia, you'll notice that within the title release schedule for the first quarter of April, meaning April through June, first quarter of 2021. Sorry, jumped ahead there. There are quite a few mentions of Google Stadia. The most noticeable ones being Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege, For Honor, and Uno 50th Anniversary, which could be an expansion to the existing Uno game that's already on Stadia.
Can't wait for that DLC.
Or it could be an entirely new Uno game.
Oh yeah, spicy Uno
now
game.
with
Let's
more
go.
wild cards and reverses.
+4s, you get +8s now.
Oh my god, can you imagine? The whole game is just that meme of the guy who's like draw 25 or whatever. Any of these games that are getting you guys really excited?
Siege. And actually, and For Honor, honestly, I've always been interested in that game. But
Yeah, For Honor for sure.
I hated the gameplay of that game, but it's just because it's just not the type of game for me. So like I jumped in on the For Honor beta. It could be totally different now and totally cleaned up, but I really struggled with that.
I think that game has changed a bit, because that game has like crazy legs in terms of like how long they that game's like one of the games where, like no one's talking about it, but apparently it's super popular. So it's like, but I just always been interested in it. Actually, at PAX East, I was at PAX East and they had a For Honor tournament going on. It was like, that's how big it was. It's crazy to see that. But Siege, I'm excited about, just because a buddy of mine, a good friend of mine, plays lots of Siege. He's pretty good, so it'd be fun to play Siege with him.
Yeah,
we got lots of people pumped about Siege.
Yeah, I do hope it runs. I do hope it runs smooth, because on Luna it was poop.
Fair.
Yeah. I've never played. It was literally like every 10 frames a second. Bad.
That sounds about like my Luna experience. That actually holds up. I've never played Siege, but I've always wanted to. So I love Rainbow Six Vegas. That'll date me.
Yeah, I was gonna say this game definitely seems like your type of game. In the nicest way possible. Wow. Okay.
It seems more accessible. Like,
even more, actually.
It just seems like a way more accessible, like CS game. It really it just seems more accessible, more varied.
Do you think any of these come to Pro? Probably not. Actually, probably none of them, because they would just be included with Ubisoft Plus.
Yeah, I guess we'll see one of them. I mean, do we have the Division as Pro, or do I just own it? I think. What's that Pro?
I don't think it was Pro.
I think we just bought it when it was on sale for like $10.
It was like $5. It was $5.
Yeah, it was so cheap.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Do I think anyone Pro? I think if anything, maybe something less popular like For Honor, I think would be, in terms of Siege is like different level of popularity. I guess something like For Honor, just to get the Stadia fan base into the game. But yeah, probably not likely, just because UB Plus. Although RIP everyone outside the United States on UB Plus, but So that's the only reason I can see it actually being them being a pro game at some point. But it's also such an old game at that point. But like, why not just throw it on there? The game's got to be at least 4 or 5 years old.
She just went from the Nova in Scotia to the Bitter in Scotia.
No, we still don't have access. I honestly, I might want to jump back into For Honor. I don't know if you guys knew about this particular show. It was it wasn't popular, but it was a show that was back in like 2009, 2010 called Deadliest Warrior that was on the History Channel.
Oh, yeah.
I enjoyed that very much. The Shaolin Warrior one was awesome.
That's what For Honor is. You get to just play as these like warriors from different time, like eras and different like countries, and that's what I associated that game with. So I remember when I saw it at E3, I'm like, this is my type of game. And then once again, I fell off the bandwagon because everyone I knew was just like, it was cool for 2 weeks, but I'm just gonna go find another game to play. Rainbow Six Siege I have played. Unfortunately, it gives me motion sickness though, because it is in first person. That game and like Doom I have really difficult times with. I will play it. It'll only be in a stretch of like 3 games, and then I'm like, peace out, guys. Like,
if you play on Luna, then everyone has motion sickness, and then you're fine.
Oh, that's good. True. Oh,
yeah, everyone's dying in that.
No, I have really enjoyed Uno though. We've been playing it on PC. They do have different versions. They just released an Immortals Phoenix Rising Uno that none of us own.
Wasn't that was that just DLC for the regular Uno?
It's a paid DLC. You have to pay for it. It's the same thing.
Like special cards that do have like abilities, like
it's like different cards and stuff like that. It's the same way, because I know they had a sale on Uno a while back, because I ended up buying Just Dance Uno, which had like music and stuff associated with it. Oh yeah, there's anything associated with Ubisoft, they're like, let's make an Uno variant of it.
I mean, I know like Tetris like has different versions, but like they like have different, I guess, different modes. I can see that gamifying that differently than Uno, but I guess hey, anything is possible. I mean,
they almost called the Division 1 Division Uno.
Oh my god.
Thank you for that, Aaron.
Do you think that they just don't have Ubisoft Plus rolled out in other regions outside of the United States because like they don't know where Canada is?
We have 2 studios here.
That's the joke.
That's the worst. I was gonna say we have Montreal, and there's like we've already discussed. There's literally a Ubisoft studio like 10 minutes away from my apartment.
You could throw a rock and hit it.
Yeah, I could literally go down and be like, "Why?" And be like,
get us an exclusive interview. What are you doing with your time?
They do mobile stuff.
Yeah. They did like the Go series, right?
Kick down that door and be like,
"Yes,
hello, it's me, the Canadian lady." And I have questions.
Bring the Go games to Stadia. Those are fantastic.
Right?
I would play those again on Stadia.
Yeah. CSGO?
Not CSGO. No.
They had it was
Hitman,
a Siege. It was
Lara
like
Croft and Deus Ex.
Yeah,
you're thinking of Fortnite.
You know what?
Lara Croft's
I'm an old
Fortnite.
lady and it's 10 p.m., guys.
Oh man. Well, that leads us to our next story. I had no good transition there at all. We got some new dates for games, including a game that we gushed about on the last episode. We finally got a date for Animal Royale.
Well, we have it's coming later this year. It's just more or less Stadia acknowledging
the developer. Date. I didn't read this ahead of time.
Sorry. Yeah, I said in the doc confirmation of it later this year. It just Stadia acknowledging it's coming later this year. So like more official.
Okay.
But we
know that it's coming later this year. But unlike Shantae and the Pirate's Curse, does actually have a window of summer of 2021. So
this week in Stadia prediction, because I saw someone posted about the this week in Stadia prediction for us with the Ubisoft stuff. At least one of the other Shantae games is going to be free with Pro. If not this month, the following month.
Nice.
Just can't confirm. By that I mean I just made it up, and I think it's going to happen.
I mean, I'm excited for Shantae, but give me this Animal Royale game.
Yes.
That's all I want.
Absolutely.
We also got Foreclosed, which is now coming August 12th, 2021. And this is that cool cyberpunk, like Repo Men one.
Yes.
Yeah. Which looks really cool. Really awesome art style for that game.
Yes.
Really cool
yes.
Very comic booky. I'm excited to see more of what this game is. I will be playing this one day one, probably, honestly. So August 12th, 2021. Yeah. Excited to see that release date drop. We'll be giving our thoughts on future episodes. Ooh. And I'm going to see if I can get an early code. Just putting it out in the universe. Who do I call? I don't know. The foreclosed Twitter page or Ubisoft Montreal. I hear I have connections there now. All right. And the last game to get a release date, or at least window is Lies of P, slated to come to Stadia in 2023.
Okay.
That's a commitment.
That shows that they think Stadia will be here in 2023. You heard it here first. Let's go.
Yeah. As a heads up for people who want to watch the trailer of it, there is some quite gory things that happen in it. So just as a heads up,
I was going to ask because I'm like, should we? I have not watched the trailer, so
I haven't either. And I almost hit play as you can see me hovering.
No, don't do it. Just don't.
There is. Shouldn't.
Okay,
yeah, there. Yeah, no.
Thanks for warning us. I literally was about to play not knowing.
You're welcome. It's not so much that it's gory. It's just there's horrific things that happen, such as creatures crawling out of human bodies and stuff like that. You know what? And then like a skull smash with like flesh on. It's like a whole thing. It looks cool. I'm definitely going to play it.
Our style is cool. Yeah.
Oh, it looks beautiful. Like the actual graphics in the trailer look phenomenal, but I shouldn't have told you. I should have just been like, just let it play and see
our
the
viewers
reaction.
will be happy about that.
Oh no, absolutely not. But I just wanted to specifically see Aaron's reaction as he watched a mouse come out of a human mouth.
I don't like that at all.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna this trailer.
Yeah, but you know what? This alone was just like the best. Like this is all I needed was just seeing his reaction to me explaining it. But yeah, it looks realistic, and I don't like that.
Well, I just threw in my mouth a little bit by the fact that one of his comments says, "Oh, juicy." That's not how you describe that. What is wrong with you people? I should make you watch the trailer just for these comments.
Oh my god! I mean,
I'm not going to. Nope. Nobody needs to see me reacting to that.
I'm actually
as you actually are playing Resident Evil.
Yeah.
How does that mice crawling out of people's mouths?
Yeah. It's explained as the horrifying take on the toy becomes boy classic. Like
you play as Pinocchio.
In the most terrifying way possible. It's okay,
you have to actually
guys.
cut your way out of the whale.
Yeah.
Is Pinocchio actually public domain? Because I know like everything Disney is not public domain because they keep getting patents to extend it. I wonder if
probably is. I mean, they make a really crappy Pinocchio movie last year.
Who?
There's some pretty terrifying versions of Pinocchio out there.
Okay, then maybe I'm wrong. I just know Mickey Mouse, like that character specifically, they've like created new patent laws to make it last. Like patent laws are 24 years. They've had the patent on Mickey Mouse for like 70,000 years at this point.
Well, I mean, Pinocchio wasn't essentially a Disney original. It was based on like a German folklore.
Yeah.
It's the same way with like Cinderella. Little Mermaid and stuff like that. So that's why you see different variants of it is because they're just based off of German folklore or Scandinavian folklore.
Not surprising for Walt Disney to steal things from other things. So, but yeah. Anyway.
Welcome to Down with Disney, the brand new talking about whether things are Disney properties or
I'm not a Disney fan in terms of like overall. I don't mind Disney stuff. Pixar's the best purchase they've ever made besides Star Wars.
That Marvel purchase, terrible. That is
terrible. Worst purchase they've ever made.
Awful business.
They can't even get Spider-Man, the best one of them all.
Oh, so that's what's coming. Let's talk about what's leaving, but not really leaving, just ending its exclusive deals. We have a couple of games that are coming to an end as in terms of their exclusivity with Stadia. One
of them is
not really
kind of on its way there.
Yeah. The first one being Super Bomberman Online, which will be coming to other platforms. I was like, you know what? These are quick headlines. I don't need to pull it up.
But of course, then you got to open them.
I already did it. Hopefully there's a whole list of sale games soon that I can read off for 20 minutes.
I didn't add any deals. Specifically,
Fiona wasn't here for that one.
Aaron thought it was a good idea to read all of the deals as he got halfway through. I'm like, Aaron, you don't need to read them all. He's like, no, I'm committing to it.
I would just walk away. Just
it was like me reading the genealogy in the Bible. Anyways, so Super Bomberman Online is ending its exclusivity deal. It will be coming to other platforms like PlayStation 4, Nintendo Switch, PC, Xbox One, and Series X coming at a later date. And then the next one, as he said, was Outcasters. They changed their publishing rights from SG&E, but they haven't announced any new platforms. So are they allowed to now go explore that option, see if they want to be on Steam, things like that? Yes, absolutely. But as of right now, Outcasters is still exclusive to Stadia. I do want to ask you guys what you think about Outcasters specifically being able to go to other platforms. Let's start with Jacob because he is so pumped to give me his thoughts.
I'm actually, it's sad because I think Outcast is a great game and it's actually was a good get for Stadia to have. But as someone who has actively tried to play it recently, there is no one online. It's mostly bot games. You're lucky to get to it. If you get you pretty much sit for an hour to get a full game of just players, if you're lucky, which is sad because it's a fun game, a fantastic game, and even the bots are pretty fun and challenging at times. But typically, I still mop them up. So,
I heard
sad as I am,
you do what now?
What?
I definitely heard you say. Even with the bots, I knock them up. And
I mop them up.
Oh, I got it afterwards, but I was still going to go ahead and say what I heard because I was confused.
But I'm as sad as I am to see it eventually lose exclusivity. I'm excited as a player of the game to have more people playing the game. It's a good game that deserves to be played by other people and deserves to be to get recognition for being as good as it is. Because I think it's very underrated. It's a very underrated Stadia game.
Let me ask you this. If you shop this game around, do you figure out crossplay for this first, just so you know you can walk in with a heavier player base?
I think if they're smart, they would have it be crossplay. I'm not sure if in their agreement they maybe have to. I don't know. I don't know how that works. I think that would make sense on Stadia. Is like they have hey, if this game goes after exclusivity, this needs to be cross-platform with us still. Because again, that's a big thing. Is player base we saw even with Destiny. I mean, right when Destiny when it first came out, a lot of people talk about how the wait times for outside of what's the main I forget the main mode in the Crucible. Is it Control?
I don't play against other people. I'm a friendly guy.
I know outside of I think it's Control is the main mode for Crucible. If you try playing anything else besides that, it was very tough. I think is it Gambit or the other I actually played that a lot more. The PvEVP game. That one actually was terrible, but yeah, it was. So we had those issues, and I don't think Stadia wants to see that happen again. Yeah. So I think that they would be wise to have it written somewhere in their agreement that it needs to be cross play when it leaves Stadia. So
Fiona, Outcasters, did you play it? I did not. I watched people play it. I personally didn't play it myself. I going to crossplay. It needs to happen. It definitely needs to be in the contract that it needs to have the ability for crossplay, because introducing this to other consoles or onto PC and not introducing crossplay to Stadia, it's essentially just leaving the game on Google and then not really seeing any sort of growth. And I think that if they include it and they get more consoles involved and everyone has the ability to play it, I think it would bring a newfound life to it, because I remember seeing this a number of months ago, but not actually seeing it since that particular time. I think I maybe paid attention to it for like maybe a week or two, and then it kind of fell off my radar a little bit. So I'm hoping that if they do crossplay, which honestly at this point, like usually I wouldn't be like, oh, they shouldn't give up this title. It needs for this game to live, it needs to like be able to go on to different consoles and to have crossplay.
This actually makes me want to go back and either follow up with them or check if maybe it was posted and I missed it. I know Wave Break, which was one of the first exclusive games that actually come to Stadia, was the Tony Hawk boat game. That's another game that really just struggled to have a big player base on Stadia for online games, and it's a challenging game. I still enjoy it. That's a game that's going. They're currently beta testing the Steam version of the game, and they're adding a bunch of features for Steam that's not going to be on Stadia, which is very upsetting. But I do still. I can't remember if they posted that it's gonna have crossplay or not. That's one thing I want to kind of maybe fact check my own self. But
yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, I will be interested to see, because Outcasters actually feels to me like it has that ability to be your Fall Guys or your
exactly. That's what I felt.
Exactly.
Yeah, that very quick burst where a ton of people are playing it and they're going to be on it for quite a while, and then I don't know about the sustainability or whatever, and I think they could achieve that if they can get on all platforms, and then crossplay would be huge, but. Even then, like, get this on Steam for cheap, get this on Xbox, get this on PlayStation, and just try to build the community that way. Because potential's absolutely
there. The community manager is awesome, and I believe it's she, but they deserve like so much credit because they are a very fun and engaging community manager that for this really fun little game, and I really hope that they have success because they seem like a good team.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Outcasters, if you don't know, is still already out now on Stadia. Speaking of out now, let's talk about other games that are now out on Stadia. The first one being Street Power Football.
Yeah, don't mind
you can now purchase this on Google Stadia. This is FIFA Street renamed.
No, it's not. It's not. No.
It looks so much like FIFA Street.
No, it has that aesthetic, but is very. It's from what I've seen of it. Yeah, you can throw the trailer. I was gonna say it's very like
I don't know. A mouse crawls out of a guy's mouth in this one.
It has some like street stuff. Like it just has like a 3-on-3 I think as well. But it's a lot of like doing like breakdancing on balls and the street moves more than it is actual like soccer or football, wherever you choose to call associations football. But
very interesting with trick shots and all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's very interesting. Then they do have an actual like soccer mode. Like
what was FIFA Street?
Wicked tricks.
Is this
kind of? But looked a lot. As someone I played FIFA Street, it played a lot better than this. But
fair.
Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah. If that's your jam, go play some football in the street with what is not FIFA Street, as I'm being told by my co-host. The other one that's out now is 100 Days Wine Making Simulator. Huge friend and fan of the show. He can't stop talking about us on Twitter. Greg Miller did a stream of this where he drank a bunch of wine and they played this. I would assume this would be something Fiona wants to play, but she would probably get distracted, not realizing she doesn't have to watch the grape crushers crush the grapes for 30 minutes.
That's true.
Well, Greg had to play the game and drink all the wine for Jen because she can't have wine now. So.
Exactly. For real, I do want to try this. I think it looks really cute. Like I dig the aesthetic a lot, actually. And I like wine enough, but yeah, I really want to try the home brewing one more, like make your own beer. That one looks awesome, but this is still really cool. I kind of like the plug and play and how you can drag and customize your vineyard and
the bottle. I would just sit there and play the bottle.
I would get stuck doing that.
Hours.
Dude, I can't wait to see the bottles Fiona makes as a designer. It's gonna be unreal.
Aaron, do you make labels for your beer at all, or no? When you make beer,
I'm not that talented. I make the beer and I drink the beer.
I just use the templates, but I also had a friend of my brother-in-law actually helped me make a label for my one beer. But
nice. That's cool.
Yeah.
So that is now out for you guys to go play. I just clicked full screen on the wrong thing, so I just full screened our whole stream. Sorry about that.
Yeah, let's do it.
That'll do it. That will do it. We're really winning tonight. It's fun. Yeah. So those games are out. Go try it. Make wine. Be merry.
Yeah.
Maybe the three of us should try to do that. Do a wine simulator stream and drink wine.
Oh,
Oh, I'm down.
I mean, I'll drink.
Done.
I'll probably drink like fancy beer that's like light. I have a beer that tastes like a wine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still haven't. I just got actually this past weekend at a brewery. So, he says the guy said it's very winey. I'm like, my wife will love this. Okay, sounds good.
Nice. One of our large breweries here where I live, Odell Brewing, they just expanded into having a second division where they make wine.
Awesome.
So I will go try that at some point. Yeah. Next up, we have the EA Play date has been posted. This comes from a little site that, we don't use these guys enough. They've been really good.
We don't use them for most of our articles.
More. It comes from Stadia Source, your number one source for all things Stadia. Basically, EA Play Live will take place on July 22nd. EA has confirmed that their next EA Play Live event will be taking place on July 22nd of this year. It will take place around 1 month after E3 2021, which is set to take place on June 12th through June 15th. We have no details really yet about the event. And the article goes on to say that it could be an interesting event in terms of Stadia. When EA's support of Stadia was first announced, it was revealed that EA had a deal to bring 5 titles to Stadia. We've seen 3 of those: Madden, FIFA, and now Fallen Order. It's safe to say that these games have been excellent Stadia sports. Of course, these original figures do not include Dirt 5, which of course was announced for Stadia before EA made the acquisition of Codemasters.
Yeah.
What do you guys expect from EA Play and Stadia, if anything? Let's start with Jacob.
Apex. If it's not Apex, I'm gonna riot because that game's already that's like the only game they have that's actually cross-platform.
Let's go.
Of all their EA's games, it's like the only game that's cross-platform. If it's not Apex, I don't know what.
I will play so much Apex with you.
Thank you. Apex is fantastic.
Much Apex with you if that happens.
Best battle royale game.
I'm going.
I will play it even though I'm not an Apex fan. I will play it with you guys.
Problem.
Is it motion sickness for you again?
Yeah, you said that earlier about the first.
That game is super buttery smooth. I'm sorry. Maybe if it plays at 60 frames, it'll be better for you.
Maybe.
Does frame rate help usually?
Honestly, no. But I can I have motion sickness meds that I take before I play things because when it's a game that I really want to play, like Doom, for example, I definitely do something like that. And I've heard there's these kind of weighted bracelets that you can get that apparently is supposed to help as well.
Oh, really?
C-bands, I've heard of them, and someone recommended them to me a lot, and I just haven't looked into them too much further because I don't usually play a lot of games that are in first person. So we'll see. But yeah, I would probably I think it would have to be Apex at this point because you can play it essentially everywhere else.
So what is it about Overwatch that works for you?
That's a great question. No sweet clue. I have no clue. Because I am able to play Overwatch for hours, no issues. And for I think it was the other day, I tried to do a race on GTA that lasted about half an hour because it was a 19-lap race, and I was done. I was down for the count at one point. I was just I need to leave the race because I just couldn't handle it anymore.
I need everybody to stop talking right now. Jacob, please tell me this is your mother.
That's my mother, yes.
Oh!
This is the most wholesome shit I've ever seen. I love it. Oh, I'm so sorry, Mrs. Porter. I didn't mean to swear.
Aaron.
I know. I just said I'm sorry.
Oh my God.
That was such a good moment. Hi, Mrs. Porter. I hope to meet you someday.
Yeah, I actually shared because we do stream to Facebook, and so I actually I shared the link there.
That's so cute.
That's amazing. All right. Anyways, so sorry to cut you off, Fiona. I got way too excited when that comment popped up.
It's okay. No, I never really understood it because I thought that was one of my concerns when everyone was like, Fiona, you should play Overwatch on PC, because I recently got a new PC and I was like, I'll try it. I have no issues. I'm still confused. It might be frame rate related. Like, I thought that frame rate didn't help, but maybe it's that. So I'll definitely give it a shot. If it's Apex and I know you guys are playing, I will definitely try it out too. Yes. See how it runs.
What do you think number 2 is then?
Yeah, I love the Apex.
I gave my
That's
guess.
Great.
Sports games.
Squadrons.
I was gonna say a Star Wars game. Like, I can only think
Squadrons
of
or Battlefront 2, if they just want to like throw that old game at us.
Yeah.
Is that even cross? Oh, that's cross. No, it's probably not crossplay. What am I talking?
What are the chances they would announce the new Battlefield coming to Stadia?
That's possible. It's so many. That game has been leaking like a Swiss cheese. I'm not bad. I'm not terrible.
Swiss cheese?
Terrible jokes. No, it's leaking like crazy. So that I'm not surprised if that game would be.
The details around that game are leaking out like the words out of Jacob's mouth.
Yeah,
yeah, that's a better
analogy than what I could think of.
Oh my goodness.
I think that would be cool. A brand new, like a new first-person game that has online capabilities. They came out and said, here it is for Xbox One, Series X. Here it is for the PS5, and boom, Stadia.
It'd be the whole EA agreement was kind of frustrating anyway, but that's a big lead up for a game. Give a year's notice on when the game is going to come out.
That's fair.
Yeah,
they announced that in like I think it was the July one. I forget when they actually did that announcement, but that was part of was that part of good stuff. Either way, it was before the summer because. Like, is Madden going to come out day and date? And then no, it didn't come out until
after the Super Bowl.
After the Super Bowl,
yeah.
I'm not bitter about it. It's fine.
Whatever.
Yeah.
What if the other games are just the next FIFA and the next Madden?
That's all I've joked about. Yeah, I don't think so. I think it's a unique game.
I hope it's not. I mean, as someone who's just not the biggest sports fan, and that's probably why EA is not on my radar for the most part, because it just releases a lot of games that don't particularly interest me.
Like Mass Effect. Yeah.
Thin Ice Porter. That was actually going to be one of my other things. What if they've been working on trying to figure out how to port that to?
That would be big.
That would be huge.
Done.
I thought we would have heard something already though. If that since the game was coming out, they would have said, "Oh, Stadia is coming out later." Like I feel like that would have been in that same cadence.
That's fair.
Yeah.
The same time, I thought they would do the Apex when it's coming to Switch and all the other stuff.
I mean, whatever it is, whatever they're going to do with this EA Play, it has to be big. And you know why? Because Stadia is alive and well.
What are your better transitions?
Thank you.
There you go.
It's been a little bit of a rough one tonight. This is according to Google, as co-founder steps up to product lead. Stadia is alive and well. So this comes from 9 to 5 Google. Speaking to GameIndustry.biz, Google confirmed that Stadia co-founder Dov Zimmering has stepped up to be the product team lead in lieu of Justice's departure. Zimmering has been a part of Stadia from the beginning, working on Stadia and Project Stream for the past 8 years, according to his LinkedIn profile. Google says Dov has been instrumental as a senior leader in the product development for both Project Stream and Stadia. He'll be leading the team toward our goals of creating the best possible platform for gamers and technology for our partners. Thank you for putting gamers first this time in your public statements. It's fine. And they go on to say, we're well on our way to over 100 new games launching on Stadia in 2021, and we're continuing to make Stadia a great place to play games on devices you already own. I'd tell any non-believer to take notice of how we're continuing to put our words into action as we grow the Stadia Makers program and partner with AAA studios like Capcom, EA, interesting call out, Square Enix, Ubisoft, and others. Yeah, so we're alive and well. I'm glad to see movement in terms of the team.
I'm glad to see someone else, like
someone just talk
him
about it.
already moving into the public face of saying, "Hey, like I'm here. I am the new spokesperson for Stadia." So
yeah. It shows a lot of their character, and honestly, especially with what happened earlier this year, they need someone to be that person to say like, "Hey, we are here for the players. We want to get stuff done." And one thing that kind of like threw me off, but also got me excited was one of the things that we talked about earlier was like Lies of P is coming out 2023. It's not next year. It's not next month. It's like it's a 2-year away game, so they have they plan on continuing and not stopping. And so seeing these dates getting almost later and later, it makes me more excited and kind of gives that kind of boost of confidence that Stadia needed. Because like I said earlier this year, the amount of people, and I know the three of us dealt with it, where people were just like, Stadia's gone, like rest in peace. Like I didn't even know Stadia was still here. And then now they needed to find a way to kind of not so much evaluate, but also just like reinstate themselves as like, we're still here and we're not leaving and we're going to continue. So this made me very excited to read this article.
Yeah, especially with like, and Jack Buser has said last year around the anniversary, said that we have games planned until 2023
absolutely.
So like they have at least 2+ years of legs that they have already planned out. So no, this kind of just more reassures that previous statement as well. With again, like you said, like pointing out the fact that like they have a game that we know is coming out in 2023.
Right.
Yeah.
Stadia kind of just reaffirms that. And another thing that I had added to the doc that is just to bring up more or less is that as of last week, Stadia reportedly hit 3 million app downloads between iOS and Android. So
which again, showing growth, getting it.
Was that?
They're showing that people are still actively like pursuing it, and they are still getting a new user base, and they are getting people to just try it. Which
again, also last June it had 1 million app downloads approximately between the two platforms. So that still shows a 100% growth between. So that's again, it's good. It's promising to see them actually gaining more users, and especially with the different promotions they've done between Cyberpunk and RE8 now.
Right.
Hopefully, I kind of would be curious to see the number. Like, obviously, we're never gonna see them, but how many new users those things brought in? I'm curious because I wonder how many people that are existing users took use of it. That's why I wondered. Like, it's a cool program, but how many new people to bring in as opposed to just giving new controllers and CCUs to existing user base? So
right. I would absolutely love to see the reporting, and I like you said, we never will, but I want to know how many of these ultra editions or premier editions went out the door with Cyberpunk, and then how many went out the door with Resident Evil. Like that, it's just fascinating. Even if it was a low number, I would just be really curious to see it.
Yeah.
But 3 million app downloads and a spokesperson that's actually speaking about Stadia.
Yeah.
I
finally
almost went for the title pun, and I didn't. You two, you're welcome. I could have said he was finally speaking of Stadia. I didn't.
I mean, that was actually a missed opportunity, Aaron. That's the time where you need to
win with you, Fiona. Oh my goodness! All right. Now it's time to bring up, he said slowly as he switches tabs, the rumor mill. Let's talk about our rumor mill roundup. These are, of course, stories that have been coming out over the last couple of weeks that could happen. They could not happen. Who really knows?
Most likely going to happen because if history says so, these usually do. But
yeah.
Let's start with the hottest topic on everybody's mind: Blazing the Monster Machines, Axle City Racers, rated for Stadia via the USK. This is a game.
Yeah. Did your son ever watch Blade? Or is that probably too?
I want to say like just really briefly he was into it, but it's not.
I know it's like that. Like like
It's
3
not
to 5 is like super in love with that show. It does seem like, well, just a little spoiler. A lot of the games that are coming, are kind of younger rated, at least, and I've seen more of them. Like, there's another developer or publisher that people have been confirming with that their games are going to be coming to Stadia later this year, and against a lot of more kid-oriented games, like Ben 10 is like one of the ones they make. So,
which is that like that should be a target market for Stadia.
exactly, I think it's a good get. I mean,
my kid loves Stadia.
Yeah.
And like anytime you can get younger kids and you want to get them into video games, but like you're not going to go pull a trigger on a PS5 for your 6-year-old to let them run around. You know what I am going to do? Pull up my 5-year-old laptop and pull up stadia.com and let him run around and make him think he's playing like all the coolest video games.
And he can also play it on his existing tablet.
Yeah.
Because I got a Fire tablet for my daughter because we had a long car ride and we wanted to make sure she didn't scream the whole time. So I actually tried out on the Fire tablet because you can sideload Google Play Store in there.
Yeah.
Which I did. And it works just fine.
Yeah.
Nice.
I play Piku Niku on it.
Right.
Yeah.
And then once your kid is done playing Ice Age Scrat's Nutty Adventure, which has also been rated for Stadia, which is rated E for everyone, then you can move them on to other cool projects like Resident Evil 7.
Yeah, exactly. The easy onboarding to RE7 is really Ice Age Scrat's Adventure.
Scrat's Nutty Adventure, Resident Evil 7.
How old
That's
is this game?
The order.
Okay. Yeah, that's the yeah, there's definitely not like 10 different steps.
I don't know why you're judging me. It's not like I'm going to start them on Resident Evil 7 first.
I mean,
that would be a terrible idea.
Okay.
This game came out in 2019. What? Like,
I'd never even heard of this.
Yeah, there's a ton of Ice Age.
First of all, me neither. Two, how does the Ice Age IP have that kind of legs? Let's just talk about that.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. When was the last Ice Age movie?
I don't even know. I just need to know.
Apparently there's
what's killing me.
The most natural progressions. I told you, Fee.
You know what?
Look at it now. I'm doing the hard research, everyone.
Yeah. Apparently the last movie was
2016.
Kiss Your Ice Goodbye.
Okay,
Ice Age Collision.
And I know if the PlayStation Trophy Room is still in here, or the Trophy Room of PlayStation podcast, I apologize. If they could just give me a quick report, what's the plat look like on that thing?
Probably very easy.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Where's Kyle?
Get on it.
No.
Get on it.
Yeah. Honestly, actually something that Frank posted is like kids would make Stadia boom. Like getting kids. The wording, I'm not gonna go into that, Frank. But
phrasing,
my dude. No, but I think that it's a market that isn't really tapped into. I know Nintendo exists, but when it comes to just like money wise, they're still really expensive. Like there's games that came out like 4 years ago, and they're still the same price they were this day one. And I think having the accessibility, especially like just what Jake said, he bought a tablet for his daughter. If he could get like the ability to just throw in like Ice Age when she gets to a certain age where she's able to even play stuff like that, you don't have to buy like an expensive handheld console like the Switch. You can just get a tablet for $100 on Amazon and then get a controller and let your kid play with it.
And
like,
that girl is literally
$54.
Yeah,
what?
Even cheaper. Well, it's that price in Canada, but it's still.
Because, think of other countries, Jacob.
Sorry, conversions are.
If your mother is still listening, she is disappointed in you. I mean, your daughter has got to be like literally just 2 years away from wanting to hold a controller and run around in this. The other. One of the other games that was recently rated.
Oh, absolutely. She's in love with dinosaurs right now.
See?
We actually just got her a dinosaur puzzle and a dinosaur book while we're away. So.
Are you going to play this with her?
I might have to. She does enjoy holding my Stadia controller and just probably breaking it slowly. But
look how freaking cute this is.
It has some Bug Snack vibes to it, actually.
Look at these things. Running around and jumping on flowers.
Oh my goodness. She would love this. She would love to just watch me play this.
Right.
Yeah.
Bond with your daughter. And play this game. So that was one of the other ones that was in
There's
the
a fourth
mill.
one you're missing.
I'm getting there.
One. Okay, you're save that best for last.
Literally, I went through these other titles and I was like, well, we're going to run through these. Possible confirmation that The Division Heartland is coming to Stadia. This comes from user RadDevDad on Reddit. For the find, Ubisoft recently revealed a future roadmap for The Division, and in said roadmap, it was revealed that a free-to-play title called The Division Heartland would release in 2021 or 2022. Given that The Division 2 and Ubisoft Plus is on Stadia already, and Ubisoft has been one of Stadia's biggest supporters, we sort of aired on the side of it coming to Stadia anyway, although we can't confirm this as it was never set in stone. Yeah. Anyways, you can follow these things, these steps to find it, and you would get to this right here, which says The Division Heartland platform: Stadia, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, PlayStation 5, Series X and S, and PC. Does that get you back into The Division Heartland, Jacob?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's a game that's ripe for a free to play version of it. Honestly, it's surprising that it's one of those games where it's like, even like Siege is still a paid game. Like, how is that game not just free to play? And you use the game already has like seasons and battle passes and everything. Like, why is that game not free to play now? Like, they do say it's always on sale. It's always like $8 or something. Like, it's the same thing with The Division. Like, this seems like a game ripe to be a free to play game.
Yeah.
So no, that's sounds cool. Heartland sounds interesting. So it's gonna be sounds like Midwest. I wonder what area it's gonna be. If it's gonna be because it's probably still be near a city, I'm assuming, but like what city? I'm curious if what it's going to be. So should be cool. I'm interested.
Also, those are wall mounts for his Stadia controller. I also have them. They're just not in frame. Mine are even custom. It has my Stadia username underneath it. Yeah, that I got from friend of the show, Kelsey.
Yeah, Kelsey. I mean, she actually asked me for your Stadia names to make sure it was on there.
I remember that. Yeah. And I was so happy I ordered myself a second one for both my controllers.
But Kenny, no, it's Stadia, PlayStation, Xbox, and Steam controller because I'm a freaking weirdo.
I'm going to take a screenshot of that. And every time you harass me on Twitter and you're like, oh, cheating on Stadia, I'm going to just post a photo of your wall.
To be fair, I have this. I had this to play Stadia because
touche.
And xCloud, because when they tried the beta for that, because before it was available on the phones through the Stadia controller, you could use that Chromium version to play. And I used to use that to play.
Now who's saying hi to you?
Our guest from last week.
2 weeks
ago. How you doing?
Yeah, and then also Ray, are you a tester for Division? I didn't know, or
blink twice for yes,
or is it Gigantosaurus?
I mean, opportunities, guys.
Yeah. And that's it. That does it for all the news you can wrap your head around for this week. Speaking of Stadia, what?
Oh, wait. I thought there was something else. Okay, ignore me.
Nah, I didn't want to end on that note about Google TV. I liked ending on a positive.
Okay. Yeah.
And that does it. So thank you so much, everybody, for listening to episode 24 of Speaking of Stadia. Fiona, where can these lovely people find you? And make sure you definitely don't forget to plug any certain specific podcasts
that you happen to be now a full member of and are.
Just kidding. Where can the people find you?
Well, other than here at Speaking of Stadia, they can find me over at Point in Progress at youtube.com/pointinprogress, where I sit with 4 of my friends and we talk about things that interest us. I'm also going to be plugging our Twitch channel at twitch.tv/pointinprogress because we plan on doing some streams following up to E3. So that'll be something we're going to be posting about. And then you can find us on Twitter at the same handle.
What's your news?
What?
My
Point in
news.
Progress teased some news, and I hit her up on Discord, and she dutifully ignored me, by the way. So I was trying to corner her and get some...
Well, definitely not going to say it on a live recording of a podcast, Aaron.
We want the exclusive. Speaking of Stadia.
Well, you can get exclusives while not streaming, and my co-hosts are in the chat. So
That's fair. Mr. Porter, where can the lovely people find you now that you actually tweet from your own account occasionally?
Occasionally, yeah. You can see it right next to. Well, how do I do this? There, no.
No.
Turn up. No.
Nope. Other way.
I love trying to play this game. No,
It's right here. It's right here. It's right here.
There it
I'm
is.
helping you. Look.
I can't. It's over.
What? No, it's 2 tall porter with 2 zeros for the O's because some jerk took my name. Also without the zeros on Stadia. I occasionally post from my own account now. Like half the time I remember, I think I'm on my account, post, see that it's not my account and delete it, then go to my... It's a big hassle.
It's not worth it, you know?
Yeah. But no, if you want to see me tweet, mostly share this stuff and post some other things here and there. But otherwise, speaking of Stadia, is mostly me, like probably 90%, probably like 99% me at this point.
Hey, I've done things.
You have done. I said at this point now, because for a while you were actually doing very fairly active using that account, but now it's been a little bit.
You're just so good at it. Anyways, follow us on Twitter at Speak of Stadia, because Speaking of Stadia was too long, and you can follow me on Twitter at Aaron Cini, which is right here. But dang, there you'll find me do a lot of hot takes about dumb stuff, or I'll just talk about video games like Mass Effect, or tell you about things in the movies, like give Dave Bautista an Oscar. Army of the Dead was fine, but he was fantastic. And that does it. This was the 24th episode of Speaking of Stadia. We'll be back right here 2 weeks from tonight. Same time, same cloudy channel. Good night and goodbye.